Here we're going to make the berry box found on page 148 of the annual catalog. To get started, we're going to use the Kraft cardstock and we're going to cut it to 9 by 3. We're going to then score 2.5 inches in from each end. We're also then going to make a mark at 3/4 of an inch in. This will help us line up where we punch. We're going to use the all-new classic label punch to make our handholds for our box. If you don't have this new punch, the old word window punch would work just as good. Now we need to cut 4 pieces that are 1 inch by 5 inches. Then we're going to score each one on both sides at the 1/2 inch mark. Now I'm going to use the Hardwood stamp set with Sahara sand ink, and we're going to ink all our pieces with the hardwood. For the main body of the box, I thought about doing it the way that I thought the wood would run on the box. So I did both sides in one direction, covered those with post-it notes, and then did the bottom in a separate direction. We then used crumb cake ink and a sponge dauber and added a little definition around the edges of both sides and then along each side of the side bars of the box. I love this new tear tape. If you had worked with the sticky strip from before, you had to cut it and it didn't work well. This, I just tear off a piece, tear each side. Here I'm then trimming up my edges with the paper snips. Super easy. So the first one, I applied everything to one side of the box, and the top rows I lined up with the very top of the box. The second one I put in the middle between the top run and the bottom of the box. Then I applied to the second side. So now to make the little decorations, we took the delicate dollies and I cut them in half. And I tried to figure out what size I wanted the decorator designer paper. And I just eyeballed it and then cut it with my paper trimmer. Super simple. And attached it with some snail. And then we attached it to the box with snail as well. You could easily use fast Fuze here to give it a little extra bond. So I didn't happen to have the ribbon that was on the catalog, so I buy lots of this Organza ribbon because it takes the ink from the markers so beautifully. So now I have any color ribbon that I need just by using my markers. I've taken a cellophane bag and filled it with my treats to go in the box and tied it up with my new colored ribbon. So to add a little filling to the box, I took a small square of plain white tissue paper and I'm stamping on the matte side. It had a shiny side and a matte side, and I stamped on the matte side. I'm not neat here at all. Be careful with the tissue paper, the ink will go through. Makes a little bit of a mess. Every once in a while I had to keep wiping off my block because it was getting messy and it was getting on everything. But you'll see once we put it in the box, you don't really notice it, and because it's mostly hidden, but it just adds that little extra bit that's just so much fun. To create our little thank you flag, I just used plain wooden skewers, and I stamped on my designer series paper and cut it to size just by eyeballing it. And I just used my triple banner punch to make the little notch at the end. And then eyeballed the size that I wanted it, and I cut it with a strong pair of scissors that's sort of a utility type scissor. Here I used snail to attach, and I had to go back later and put fast Fuze. So just use some fast Fuze, put a few glue dots on the stick to hold it to the box, and you are done. I hope you enjoyed this box and make quite a few. Bye. Thank you.